So I wanted to share with you guys something. You know, friends don't let friends drive stock. And Cooper is out with Garrett, and they're out, you know, having some fun. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify his truck, and he has no idea. He's not even gonna find out until either this video posts or until he gets back. So whichever one happens first, we'll find out. This is a completely stock, like 08 Tahoe. Nothing done. We just pulled the cover off just to look at everything. But we're probably gonna do nothing too crazy. So we're probably gonna throw like a cold air on it, port the intake, put a throttle body on it. We might drop the exhaust. I think we're probably gonna like either we're gonna do like we'll drop part of the muffler off. That's what we'll probably do, and make it really loud. So pick up a little bit of power, a little bit of intake, a little bit of exhaust. We should do pretty good with that. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Big fuel delay there. So no fuel, and all of a sudden the fuel came on, and it was like crazy rich. So it went from crazy lean to crazy rich. So 249, 262, that's what we're starting with. Get it better than that. Heck yeah.
We're emptying all this 87 out of here because that's just not gonna cut it anymore.
Yep, got Cooper's car on there. Made some slight modifications to it. All right, so we actually sucked out all of the 87 octane, and we're going to port the intake manifold. We're going to do the throttle body, cold air, de-screen the mass airflow, and change the spark plug so that we can run a more aggressive tune on it. What else we think? Oh yeah, we're going to do the little muffler modification there. So he's going to love this when he cranks it up. This is going to be great. I can't wait an unsuspecting Cooper, you know, after everything, you know, after this long trip, crank it up, this thing's gonna be like, brrr. You know, we'll actually have a little extra high idle flare on there though. That's gonna be fun. Let's talk about spark plugs and what you get with a colder spark plug. So in this case, this one right here is stock. This guy protrudes out pretty far actually, okay? Let's put that one right next to this guy here. This one is a one-step colder. This is actually a very common plug, is a TR6. You can kind of see it's somewhat subtle, but it doesn't protrude out as far into the combustion chamber. So that being said, as that piston is coming up, it's mechanically closer to the piston, and thus it takes less time for that combustion to propagate and cause that flame and go down. This is the next step colder, and that is a TR6. So guys, think about you know, shrinkage. All right, as it shrinks in, it gets colder. That right there is a BR7 EF, and that is the least likely to spark knock of these three plugs here. So we might want to use this on something that's about, say, 700 rear wheel horsepower, or you know, maybe up to about 800 rear wheel horsepower ish. This right here we're going to use for somewhere about 600 rear wheel horsepower and or less. And stock, we typically want to just take that out and throw it away. Here's Cooper's intake manifold, getting ready to get swapped out with another one that we have. So on a pretty high mileage truck that we have of this nature, I want to guess he's got somewhere about maybe 165,000 on it, and just a completely stock truck. You know, lots of high vacuum conditions. The thing sucks in a lot, so with a lot of high vacuum, it's sucking in a whole lot of oil. So you can kind of see how much oil is caked on through all those ports. And this is why people run catch cans, is to try and, you know, sift out the oil. And because oil does lower the octane, and it does make the car want to spark knock. Spark knock is bad for the engine, and pretty much we don't want spark knock. We're doing everything we can here to make this thing get out of its own way, so if we can throw some more timing at it, she'll make a little bit more power. So we're going to clean that up, possibly put a little piece of insulation there to keep the intake manifold from heating up as much, and on to the next mod. So yeah, we were talking about how much oil is in there and trying to clean out all the grime. Cooper, your old fat hoe, she's getting cleaned out from the inside out and the outside in. Oh. All right, lads, let me be right back. I'm gonna see how George is finishing up that intake manifold, all right?
Oh my God, Norman! What are you doing? I just told you to... Oh my gosh, man, what are you doing? This is unbelievable. I just told you thanks. I knew your heart's in the right spot and all that, but dude, let the man do his job. Come on. Come on. Thanks. Thanks, bud. You're a good boy, though. You're... But bad boy. Okay, come on.
So it turns out Cooper's pretty fortunate. He's got the flex fuel injectors and he's got a virtual flex fuel sensor in this thing, which is pretty cool in that these are about a 36-pound injector. So we can throw flex fuel in it even without a sensor. But right now we have our ported intake manifold and ported throttle body going on. We're just getting ready to start bolting her down. And you ready to go on that? All right, cool. And next, we put our insulation on the bottom right there so that we're gonna limit the amount of heat that's gonna be transferred to the intake manifold. And next thing we have going on is we're gonna put a big, large cold air filter in there. And we took the screen out of the mass airflow sensor and we put a colder set of spark plugs in there. And we got to bolt down the coils, got to tie up some of the harness. Probably got about 10 or 15 minutes till we're ready to roll, but I think it's going to pick up somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 25 is what I'm hoping for. That'd be a pretty sweet pickup, and we should be able to make a ton more bottom end torque, so the old fat hose should get out of her own way. All right, she's got some Soul Glow on there, and we're pretty much ready to roll. Looks so much better. It's a poor, dilapidated old fat hoe. Just feel really bad for her. But now, she's got a new lease on life. She's gonna be a spring chicken. Spunky, ready to get out of her own way-ish. She's not quite a porcupine. Something like that. Check on my computer real quick here, just see if that thing is still up.
Norman, what are you doing? I told you not to tune the customer's cars. Do you remember what happened last time?
Bad dog. Shame. Shame on you. All right, come on, get. How did you even get up here? Nothing yet. We're actually a heck of a lot richer, so that's good indication that we're sucking in a lot more airflow, so we got to get it right though. We actually lost power, but that does not mean anything yet. Alright, so we are making huge gains on the bottom, but not that much up top, so we're going to try and throw some more spark advance at this old hoe and see if we can get some more power out of there. So she is taking it. We got a good air fuel on it. Where it was withholding the fuel before, we made a huge gain right there in some areas. So it's like 26 horsepower right there at 4,500 and about 30 pound-feet of torque. Check that out, man. And right when we first stab it there, it's about 18 pound-feet of torque and 14 horsepower right there. Not too bad, not too bad. So we're just gonna run the gamut and dump the muffler as well. I mean, we're just gonna go open exhaust on this thing. You know, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait till Cooper cranks this thing up for the first time and it just scares the crap out of him. It's gonna be freaking sweet. So when we decided to take on this project, you know, secretly modifying Cooper's car, we selected only the most high-grade, you know, modifications that we could possibly do. Only the most tasteful things that we could possibly do for Cooper. So what we did here is a custom exhaust modification where we pretty much just drop the muffler, and I may or may not have broken off both the studs on that, so sorry, Cooper. Alright, I don't know if we're going to be able to get much more out of her on pump gas, so we're trying to let the E85 circulate. This has got a virtual sensor, so it's a little bit different than the actual sensor. So it takes a little while for it to kind of realize that it has E85 in it. It actually checks the O2 sensors and kind of makes a decisive action based on that. We'll see if we can make that happen, but we're trying to throw some more at it. It's not spark knocking. We've really thrown lots of timing at it. So we'll see where we go from here. And waiting on that rematch for that Jeep. We're gonna smoke them. All right, I think we've arrived. I don't think we're gonna make any more power, so it's time to go take her out and go beat the tar out of her. So I found these sunglasses in here. These are Cooper Original. Feel pretty natural on me. Go. Well, 60 foot ain't her strong spot, but look at her reeling in! Look at her reeling in! Woo! Well, Cooper just got back, and for a little bit, maybe like 3 times what you paid for the car, I got you that sweet revenge, you know? So don't worry about the bill, you know, you'll get over it, but it's totally worth it for that sweet revenge, buddy. You know, and in the end, what you're getting out of this, you know what you're getting? A new car! It's gonna be great. It's gonna be totally worth it. All right, so here's our gains. Before we had a big lack of fuel right there, and it was withholding timing. So we actually got 38 pound-feet of torque in that area. Even though the peak-to-peak numbers look small, we're about 17 on the peak horsepower and about 15 on the peak torque. The gains underneath the curve is really what it's all about. So say for example, right there at 4,200, we're looking at 30-something pound-feet of torque, 33 pound-feet of torque, and up top at the highest RPM right there, we got about 22 horsepower. So it averages a ton more power, even though the peak numbers aren't that much better, but it really did pay out. All right, so Cooper, I hope you're happy, buddy. For $12,000, we got you cold air, ported throttle body, ported intake manifold, E85, broke the exhaust. That one we did for free. That was on the house right there, and a tune. Yeah, spark plugs. Yeah, we're set. Hope you're happy, buddy. Love you. Don't be mad. Thanks for watching. Check out the link below for merchandise. Also, check us out on Instagram at Fasterproms. Also, we're going to have some updates coming up with the Porcupotamus now that we're back in town. Thanks for watching. God bless you guys.
Hey, Cooper, can you come over here real quick? Jeremy just sent me a video link that he wants you to watch.
Nice.
If you have a moment, care to watch?
Not too interested. What's going on the side of the Tahoe here?
I honestly I don't know. I think it just says. Does it just say ho now? I think it just says ho.
Like a blue.
Did you see how vicious the title was? Old fat hoe?
I mean, it's not wrong.
I just want to say I didn't know really about this completely until yesterday.
Why would he do such a thing? We're friends.
I mean, he's doing you kind of a friend thing. He's modifying your car.
So we're probably going to throw like a cold air on it, port the intake, put a throttle body on it. We might drop the exhaust. I think
Well, dang.
We're gonna, like, we're gonna do like some. We'll drop part of the muffler off. That's what we're probably doing.
Yeah, that's the
Make it
one
really
thing I
loud,
was
so.
a little. But she's got it on the dyno. Listen to the tires.
She looks so good though.
What's the ballot on the dyno?
It's so loud, those
The tires. What is that? 249 horsepower.
God.
Is that the stock? Wow, did you see the
What happened there?
Talking about big fuel delay there, so no fuel, and all of a sudden the fuel came on, and it was like crazy rich. So it went from crazy lean to crazy rich.
Oh,
so
perfect.
249, 262. That's what we're starting with. Yeah, it's better than that.
See, you got a bad tune. Good thing Jeremy's such a great fan. Oh yeah, they put E85 in it.
It's the first time it's at E85.
Yeah.
First car on there. Just made some slight modifications to it.
I like
that.
All right, so we actually sucked out
That's a good mod.
the 87 octane.
Yeah, because you put 87 in. Oh, that's why he asked you what gas you put in it.
Cold air, descreen the mass air.
You said only the finest 87.
It had a full tank when I gave it to him, like full.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the muffler modification and throw it away.
Oh.
Cooper's intake manifold.
Wow, that was
Ready to get
harsh.
swapped out
We got
with
the
another one
intake
that we
off
have.
and everything.
So on a pretty high mileage truck that we have of this
jeez.
nature, I want to guess he's got somewhere about maybe 165,000 on it, and just completely
Oh my
stock.
god.
You know, lots of high vacuum conditions.
Third and leaves,
The thing
like a
sucks
bird's
in a lot,
nest.
so with a lot of high vacuum. So we're gonna clean that up. Possibly put a
I
little
love
piece of
this.
insulation
This is
there
so
to keep the
epic.
cheap manifold
This
from
is
heating
so
up as
epic.
much. And onto the
Jeremy's
next
the
one.
best. Oh,
Norman shot.
Norman.
Thank goodness.
I just told you to. Oh my gosh, man! What are you doing?
Look at it.
This is unbelievable. I just told you. Thanks. I knew your heart's in the right spot and all that. Dude, let the man do his job. Come on. Thanks, bud. You're good. You're.
Norman just wanted to do some porting.
But bad boy.
It's fine. He seems qualified.
Turns out
Yes.
Super's pretty forward. I'm just getting ready to start bolting her
I hope I don't get a bill
You ready to do
Yeah, you might get a bill.
next.
for parts and labor.
Yeah.
There, so that we're
Lasts
gonna limit
6
the amount
hours.
of heat that we're on way.
Oh,
They said
boy.
25.
Yeah.
All right, she's got some
25
soul glow on
horse.
there, and we're pretty much ready to roll.
Oh, now you got Norman tuning. Clearly not going to be the hottest tune. I've seen how much timing Norman runs. It's pretty serious.
I already tell you there's gonna be dog hair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To the customer's cars. Do you remember what happened last time? Bad dog.
What's that say? There were lots of treats. I know, sad dogs in this video.
All right, come on,
Peter's gonna be coming at them for working that dog.
get up here.
Yeah.
You got a
Jeremy,
good air
please, it
fuel
almost
on
says 300,000 miles.
Jeremy, please.
We made a huge gain there. In some
Not too
areas,
much time,
26
please.
horsepower
My warranty's
right
not
there.
even
We've
up
got
yet.
About 30 pound-feet of torque. Check that out, man. And right when we first.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Wow.
That's a really, actually a really good game.
Yeah, that's
Over that lean spot.
you definitely feel it.
Not too bad.
Ah, look how lean it was.
So we're just
before.
going to run only the most high-grade, modifications that we could possibly do. Only the most tasteful things that we could possibly
I
do.
see the Milwaukee.
So what we did here is a custom exhaust modification where we pretty much just drop the muffler.
goodness.
And
thank goodness
I
they
may
didn't cut
or
it.
may not have broken off both the studs on there. So sorry.
You spoke too soon. Listen to it.
Go from here.
I run this car in 87.
We went on that
It's a
You're
daily.
You're gonna have to put 91 in it from here on out. From the looks of it. Oh,
God.
look at us.
A dig race. Still got gabbed.
No, wait.
Oh, pulled
You
on the top
backhapped him.
end.
You backhapped him. Wow.
Really what it's all about.
He did pick up a
say, for
lot
example,
in
right
that lean
there,
area.
4200,
That's awesome.
We're looking at
The,
30-something
the
pound-feet of torque,
curve
33
is so much
pound-feet of
better.
torque.
Oh, so much better.
Up top at the highest RPM.
Kinda felt like VTEC
We got about 22 horsepower.
before, though.
So it averages a ton more power.
Probably bad for the
even though
trans, too, the way that it was just, like,
that much better.
picking up
Really
power all of a
All right,
sudden.
so Cooper, I hope you're happy, buddy. For $12,000, we got you cold air, ported throttle body, ported intake manifold,
Wow.
E85, broke the exhaust. That one we did for free. That was on the house right there. And
$12,000.
and a tune. Yeah. Spark plugs. Yeah, we're set. Hope you're
All
happy,
right.
buddy.
That was
So-
the cost of the car on that one.
End results? Are you happy?
Um,
Scale at 1 to 10.
on paper, not really.
Emotionally, how do you feel?
I do kind of feel violated a little bit.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
Yeah. I mean, I am a little happy. It'll run a
Good.
lot better.
Good.
I hope it doesn't run like crap on 87 though, because it was a cheap daily.
Yeah, might. Hey, overall though, I approve.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
think-
Jeremy.
I think you did a good job.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thanks, Jeremy.
Appreciate you.
Woo.